Okay, this is the way it goes. So the officer, state police officer, nice guy, shows up to check on my welfare, which is, I guess my sister is concerned that I haven't picked up my mail because they embezzled my mother's estate, and she somehow got herself assigned as executrix, and now has her own personal attorney, and she's liquidating the estate. Right, this is the estate that my mother set up for me with a visual impairment to have a place to live in case my condition got worse, or I was put in a position and where I couldn't pull myself up. I'd have a place to stay and regroup and do whatnot. So they're checking on the status of their embezzlement. Now, the oddest thing is there's no oversight for disabled people at all. I've contacted a lot of resources to tell them this is going on, but apparently no one wants to listen because Joe is in a position where he looks really messed up, and all these weird stories that circulate. Now, like I said, my sister had a mortgage from my mother, yet she's got it set up now where she's paying herself for the home with an attorney helping her, as she's charging the family for the money she embezzled from my mother. Okay? Now, I don't quite understand what's going on. I have a phone. There's no calls. Yet he says something about an email. So I'm like, I haven't used my emails in months. This is the fourth time they've used this email welfare check thing. Okay? Never came up here. No regular mail. I can't get my mail because my van is broken down. Okay? Now, my mother passed away not with the intention. I was 15 when I injured my eye and lost my vision in my right eye. 15. 15. I was a ninth grade. Okay? Ninth grade. Okay? I never really fully recovered like a normal human being, workforce guy. Right? And I helped my mother for 30 years. Right? I helped her. I was her helper. Okay? And in return, I'd have a place to have and hold, which is on her will, which was never submitted with the other will that was made up in the hospital. This is Lucy M. Cullinan out of Beacon, New York. Check her obituary. My sister did this wonderful, shitty job on the obituary. Doesn't even tell where she worked. Gives the wrong school. Okay? No one up there. Nobody up where I live. I don't even think they know she died. Okay? They came in, they cleared the house out. My house burns down suddenly. My dog's dead. Okay? All these weird things. I show up. Hey, my house burnt down. Nothing. Are you going to cooperate? You got to get out. We got to move this house. I'm like, what's going on? My house burnt down. Nothing. Well, you're crazy. You're crazy. Just like the neighbor. The same line as neighbor Bowles. Mental health patient. The one that's eavesdropping right now. Okay? So last week, I'm hearing this channel, this covert channel going on. And someone's talking about your mail, Joe, your mail. You got a certified letter in your mail, Joe. Why don't you go get your mail, Joe? This was last week. Okay? Last week or week before, right? Why don't you get your, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I have a certified letter. Sure, I do. I got to get that in my mail when I get down there when the weather breaks, And then the state trooper shows up. Your sister called me and said that you have a certified letter down there waiting for you at the post office. You got some money, right? I'm like, I'm like, how did she sell the house? We haven't even had the probate hearing. I'm like, I don't quite understand what's going on here. Why not just tell me outright instead of playing this cryptic message game? I'm on this channel. I know they know I'm here. Because if you go to look at my Hangouts contacts, right, it lists them as one of the contacts. So they know I'm here. Norton. which is kind of odd. So I'm like, gee, why are they lying to the police and playing stupid? Is my sister like demented or brainwashed? You know, I have another friend up here that was supposed to help, but he's disabled and reclusive now, distant, right? I have no one to help. I have no way to get a vehicle. I have to walk. My foot's messed up. I got to walk about a mile down, a mile back, icy roads. I'm not going to go out walking in the freezing cold, you know? So this crime they committed, I say to them when I was down there, I need a vehicle. This is back when I was down there. I need a vehicle. They towed my vehicle that I had down south. They towed it. It's gone. Registered, what do you call, insured vehicle. They towed it because it was in my mother's yard that my sister felt she now owns because she made herself a executrix based by writing a new will up. Okay? And this crime is unbelievable. I just don't get it. No oversight whatsoever. You can't get a lawyer, right? I'm put in some position, I guess, where I'm not supposed to do anything, right? You know? Now, I know she's going to listen to this and act like she didn't hear it and play stupid, okay? You know, Miss Carr, whatever your name is, Norton, there's something wrong with you, okay? This is not what my mother said to you, nor to me before she died when I talked to her. The money was in the bank to pay the mortgage off. Then the house would go to you. My personal property would go to you and you can split it up. There wasn't much, right? Then when you feel like it, you could sell the house and then you split it. But in the meantime, you have an estate, right? And the taxes will not have to be paid, okay? For the estate. You know, and I don't understand how they're going about this without going through this New York State probate court and the circuit court. I mean, I have a visual impairment since I've been a young person. You know, I haven't even been doing anything. I'm just really low key, laid back guy. Lately, talking a lot because why? I'm being abused. I'm being taken advantage of. I'm a vulnerable adult. Now, will anyone see this? No, I got 0 viewers. I might get a copyright infringement on it, right? That's a good contact, right? Do I think someone's listening now? Probably not because it says 0 viewers. Now, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to ignore the letter. There's nothing you can do. There's no sense making waves, right? Do whatever. At some point, I'm going to go to New York State and say that they embezzled my mother's estate. They haven't gone through the paperwork yet. They're sneaking this through. Again, people with some sort of strange connections with government, like my neighbor, right? All these weird, strange connections. You know, I hear a channel with a covert channel on. People can't hear this, which is odd. I must have a really good tuned ear for like ham radio because I could hear a comm channel hidden in this. You know, different people talking from different distances, like different conversations. There's a local conversation of them harassing me, and there's another one in the background. You know. So again, I'm making coffee. They tease these people up here. The locals. There's Mrs. Perkins. I can hear them outside when I go outside. You can hear them yelling. They have a sound tube. There's other people in the town that harass me. I don't know how they're linked to my sister and my family and why they're so gung-ho. They actually think they're getting a payout of some sort, right? There's some sort of payout for helping my family, I guess. You know? Now, they keep going off about this, what's her name? Swift, right? Taylor Swift. I listen to the girls' music, okay? They hate the fucking song, Shake It Off. Oh, they despise. When I play that, they get pissed off. Turn that crap off, right? You can hear them yelling. So now they're on this roll about that every once in a while. I can hear a guy on this channel. I would say there's 2 channels out here. Someone's eavesdropping on the home on a laser microphone transmitter receiver of some sort. I mean, you could pick it up. I could hear it. I don't know what to say. I kind of laugh, like, oh well, I gotta wait till spring. There's nothing I can do. Sitting here, wait. You want to buy me a car? You know where I get a car? No. Well, I can't even get this thing out of the goddamn fucking snow. Right? It's got a flat tire in the road, backing out. How the hell do you get a flat tire backing out of the driveway? That's impossible. And it's brand new tires, not a year old. There's no way. You know? It's like it just doesn't end. Joe's got bad luck. And my mother, if my mother was alive, she's the only one that would sit there and be compassionate and say, no kidding. Those people up there are really bad rednecks, you know. They're really bad people. And I told her, yeah, they steal my wood. They come in and see they take pieces of wood and stuff and steal my gas. And this is going on for 12, 13, 14, 15 years. And then she'd be sitting there talking to me on the phone and say, what's that? And I said, oh, that's my neighbor coming home, beeping the horn like a madman. He'd come in. Right? And I'm talking to my mother on the phone. She's like, what was that? Oh, it's my neighbor coming home. That's how he's been coming home all week now. Okay? That's on YouTube. Okay? A few times I'm talking to my neighbor. And I go, hold on, hold on. Right? What was that? Oh, just the neighbors driving by, you know, yelling that they're going to kill me. You know? Got that on YouTube too. Fort Hermit. So, one viewer. Who are you? You know what's happening, right, viewer? My family's embezzling my mother's estate. Okay? I'm telling the world now. I want an investigation. I've contacted New York State Detective Bureau to let them know her murder was suspicious. It wasn't a normal murder. Okay? Her normal was not normal at all. Okay? She had the same issue I had with the ringing ears. She used to tell me her ears are ringing. Ringing. She cannot even hear the TV. Right? At the time, I didn't know, but now my ears are ringing. I cannot even hear the TV. Right? I go down there. It's the same problem. My ears are ringing. You could not even sit in a room without your ears ringing. Okay? Now, I have no intention of accepting some fake, forged, phony letter that you need to commit your crime. Okay? I have no intention. That's not what the will said. The will I have that my mother did was never submitted to the courts. You never told the courts that I was disabled and had a visual impairment because you don't think so, right? Exactly. So anyway, this is the deal, right? I got to wait for the next phase. Apparently, the court system is so backed up, they don't even have time to deal with it. Even when you tell them that there's corruption going on and that's not the way it's supposed to be. You know, my brother writes a little note up, scribbly handwriting, right? And signs, this is Lucy Cullinan. I gave all my possessions to my son, Nicky. And it's my brother's scribble with my mother's scribbled name. Like, this is my mother's last will in her deathbed. You know? I'm like, you got to be kidding me. How do the courts accept this shit? You know? So they take all my mother's stuff as well as my stuff that was mixed in because I lived there for 30 years. So all my stuff is gone. The kitchen, empty, bone dry. Not even a plate, a dish, a cup. All these pots and pans that were all stacked in there, all gone. Everything picked clean. No clothes. My dresser's empty. Not one sock, shoe, pants. Not one personal item. Everything like someone went through and stripped it clean. Right? You know? It's not right. You're not kidding. My truck is broken down. I don't have a vehicle. Okay? I have to wait. There is no support group up here. There's no support group down south. My mother would be my support group. Why? Because she knew I had a visual impairment and was my backup plan. I'm living now in freezing weather with no shower, waiting for spring. right? Because somebody wants some money because I have no idea what they did. My sister wasn't even around that much, right? When I was down there 25, 30 years, coming and going, I never saw her. Once in a while, she'd pick up my mother to visit. Never did one bit of work in the house. I was the landlord. She told the judge she was the landlord. I'm like, what? I'm the one that rented. And I'm like looking around. I've been in the city for 25 years. And I'm like, that's the house I took care of. I rented rooms there. I rented the apartments. I did the work. I shoveled the driveway. You know, I'm the one that fixed the house up. And my sister's with a lawyer telling the judge that she's the one that did this. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm in awe. And then I tell the judge, Your Honor, the woman wasn't assigned this executive position until 2 months after I arrived. I had permission based upon the will that was present. And the judge says, well, the will you have is too old. She didn't give you permission because she was dead. I'm like, what? No. I'm like, ma'am, I'm like, who's this? Mr. Bowles pulls home. I guess he wants to hear my show, right? This guy next door, he's odder than the rest of them. I don't know why. He has this dead set attraction toward me to the point he has to listen to my home with his little surveillance. He comes home now. You know what's going to happen? A high frequency sound builds in the house suddenly. Right? And all of a sudden, the electrical shocks in your body as you're walking around, the zaps in your head. You know? I hear someone out there saying, oh, he's out of his mind. No, I'm not out of my mind. I'm a normal guy who's been taken down by a bunch of people who have a lot of money. And I'll tell you again, I don't know who's listening, one viewer. This has happened to me. I live in Vershire, Vermont. I lived in the city of Beacon. These are organized gang stalkers. They put my mother to sleep early. Okay? They killed my dog, burnt my house down, disabled my vehicles, right? Constantly harassed me to this day. It's some strange kind of like a mafia hit or something, assassination team, but very covertly because they got to make it look like an accident, right? My truck, 2 good tires sitting there. Suddenly I back it out and it's got a flat in the driveway. I'm like, how the hell? It's winter. How do you get a flat in the driveway? You don't. You know? Doesn't make sense. I'm going to have some coffee. I'm not going to ponder this. I got to walk a mile to get my mail and then a mile back with a bum foot because they burnt my toe off. F-O-R-T, H-I-R-M-I-T. Fort, F-O-R-T, H-I-R-M-I-T. Fort Hermit. There's my toe. They burnt that with a laser while I sat in my front yard. They burnt a hole in my pool. I had a 10-foot round pool with a filter on it, a mini pool. They burnt a hole in it. I'm sitting there, and there's a stream of water shooting out 6 feet into the air in an arc. And you could see a little black dot. That's the same day they burnt my foot up and burnt a hole in my toe. Okay? And then it went straight down to my bone. It took about 2-3 weeks for it to get the dead flesh to fall out. And then when the guy cleaned it, he stuck a Q-tip, and he goes, oh, shit, this is all the way down to your bone. And they said, we're going to have to cut your toe off. And I'm like, no. He's trying to tell me it's something else, infected. I said, no, they burnt my toe with a laser. It's damaged from a laser burn. So I didn't have it cut off, and lo and behold, I still have my toe. JOECOLLINAN on Fort Hermit. There's a picture of the motion sensor that's burnt, and there's a picture of my toe that had healed compared to what it looked like, but it's bent over. The muscles are all destroyed, and it lost its integrity to stand straight out. Now, that's today's dilemma, right? You know, I'm 58 years old. I'm not a little child, right? I'm the one that helped my mother her whole life, not this other people. They're helping themselves to my mother. And They are so tight, the family on that side, because my parents got divorced. So they're like this tight-knit group of, oh, Joe was so crazy. Because I lost my mother, who was my backup, because they didn't care for my mother, you know? So now my sister knows I have no intention of signing for any letter. Okay? You'll have to, like I told you in Beacon when you eavesdropped on me, I said to her, because they had the surveillance on in the house in Beacon, I said outside, you'll have to evict me to get me out. And I'm saying this out loud in the house. Lo and behold, a week later, someone shows up with eviction papers. I'm like, how the hell did they hear this? You know, like here, 2 weeks ago, someone says, I hear them on this channel, Joe, you got certified mail. Why don't you go get your mail, Joe? Why don't you go get your mail, Joe? You got a letter, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure I do. Then the cop shows up and tells me I have a letter that's certified. I'm like, whoa, deja vu. This is like perceptive analysis of the future. Hearing this on a channel, that's the weirdest thing. Do I think it's ghosts? No, it's somebody harassing me connected to my family. And now I have the proof, you know, because I was talking about it last week or 2 weeks ago about the mail. You know, this is screwed up. If they got some kind of covert device and they're listening to me and playing me against the police, and my neighbors are playing me and making the police think I'm something I'm not, that's wrong. You can't do that shit. You know, I may be down and out and destitute, but I ain't no fucking troublemaker. I'm trying to maintain. They're trying to kill me and make it look like they're doing nothing. You know? So, viewer, if you could help, I'd appreciate it by calling anybody you know in the government. Because as it is now, I don't know how they did it. My father and mother, my father died 2 years ago today. My mother was 2 weeks before him. And my stepmother will now die 3 days in the future. That's 3 parents within a month. Okay, and then my house burnt down 2 weeks after that. And my dog died. That's within a month and a half. Coincidental, right? Nobody else did it, right? Just happened to happen, right? The injuries that occurred just happened to happen, right? Joe, you sound crazy. That's right, I sound crazy. You know why? Because the proof is overwhelming. There is a covert channel right in there. If I turn this up. You hear that? This is $100,000 of personal inventory going to Mrs. Perkins' account. What does that mean? Does anyone know? You can't really hear it. I heard it. You know, this is on this little thing. It's like, I have no idea what they mean by that. Turn this thing up. Now, play that little bit right back. If you listen to that right there, if you recorded this, I'm going to log off at this. The guy says, so-and-so's got $100,000, Miss Perkins, coming to so-and-so. And the state police of Vermont are not going to help them kill Mr. Cullinan. That's what was just said. I heard on this thing. So go analyze that last 10 seconds, that last 10-second clip. And I'm taking a break, logging out.